All right. Well, as a lot of you know, I had I like watching a wide variety of different people online, and one of these people is Rabbi Mizrahi, and so while there's a lot about Rabbi Mizrahi's ideas and teaching and stuff that I'm like, well, I'm not an Orthodox Jew, so I guess that really, I get his point. But that's not for me. But then there's things that he'll say that I kind of got I kind of warmed to the guy, and so there was something that he brought up, and he was really excited. So he was really excited about talking about how Pfizer was helping the people of Israel. And it was, it was, he was really excited about it. And he kind of said it like, he's like, you see, he does, Pfizer, the CEO, he's Jewish, he doesn't even practice Judaism, he's not religious, but he understands he needs to help his people. Then he said, if we didn't get the vaccines, this would be like a second Holocaust. Think of all the people who would die, this, that, and the other. So a lot of you know I kept up on the difference in numbers between Israel and Palestine. So Palestine was having nowhere near the problems that Israel was having, even though they have far less. As far as advanced medical facilities, the convenience, fundamentally, or a lot of fundamental conveniences of normal, like kind of urban life there, or life in such a dense population zone. They don't quite have the conveniences that you see the Israelis having. That is what it is. But they didn't have anywhere near the death or infection numbers. Their infection numbers totally flattened. And they didn't have access to vaccines. So they were using therapeutics. And what's very important is to note that none of this got brought up. Note that you never heard this. That's what immediately one of the signs that I was like, what we're being told can't be on the up and up, because you would have to compare the Palestinian outcome to the Israeli outcome. You would have to. That is how science really works. So that's what now we're starting to get, is that kind of info and what Pfizer knew. And it's looking like Israel got absolutely bamboozled. I mean, bamboozled super hard. Like, the Israelis should feel truly betrayed, because everything that leaked before in those papers that were called the Pfizer leaks, well, nothing from actual Pfizer's data and the Pfizer leaks are at odds now. So the Pfizer leaks look genuine, and when compared to the real data. So what now the issue is was Israel paying 5 times the money in American dollars per dose? Because that's what we have. We have them paying $60 per dose, while America paid $12. And they were required, because of their quote unquote universal healthcare system, their HMO system, that you have to stay on the only way you could stay in these HMOs is if you do what they command. And so they inoculated tremendous numbers of their population, and now it's being found out that there's just simply no math that can make it that the risk versus reward, now that what we know from the data, what Pfizer themselves have, because theirs is still too compromised and having to constantly be updated, and have its numbers corrected, because of the way that the entire reporting system was never universal. It was never done according to standard protocols of epidemiology. So everybody who says, like, everyone who's saying trust the science, they are now they're the dumbs. They're the dumbs, they're the chumpos, they're the stoops. There's some people that they looked and they said, at my age, risk versus reward, this does make sense. And I am getting pressured to do this by a number of different elements in my life. There's no way I'm going to get out of this. But oh my God, nobody take a booster. Holy crap. And now, what's it, that one doctor, who invented mRNA vaccine technology, he's just saying that what the data is showing us is that the spikes are actually a type of toxin. So once again, this is unfortunately for people who don't like him. Nick Fuentes is vindicated in saying that. Both Vince and Nick Fuentes from the America First movement are vindicated in saying that this is actually toxic and it's poisonous to you. That is, and there's a lot of people who are, there's a lot of people who are detractors of America First who are not into vaccines, but they're the ones who are really going that far. They went that far because, of course, they've already long been deplatformed from YouTube. So, that Revolver has an article on that. Looks like what we're seeing, monkeypox might be a thing, might be a gay dude thing, might be something being spread around by gay dudes. We'll have to see how that pans out. I could see that. I could totally see that because they're notoriously known for spreading sexually transmitted diseases. I mean, really, like no joke. Like that, they really are. It really is actually a much. It's almost. They're almost a vector. They're almost like a vector group that. You could almost count on them being a vector group for anything like that, because they just simply will not take measures they won't stop. They won't take measures to prevent. I used to do data entry for Planned Parenthood when I was in high school. I know this stuff. The corporation I was in had to discuss this with relatively often, trying to explain why there's these men who don't consider themselves gay, but they have sex with men, and it's like, yeah, no, they're gay. They are gay. They just can't really deal with it. It's something's kind of something's funny about them, but it's definitely not funny, haha. But anyway, all right. Yeah, gonna get to doing some stuff later.